there's this guy named Halsey who apparently was doing work for them, but lost his mind and is now at a mental hospital. And so they want Bill Pullman's character to go through his brain and try to make him forget everything, or see if they can get him to give all the facts on the stuff he was working through. Apparently it's going to be some big breakthrough that he was working on. But I'm like, well, all right, well, problem solved. If you want him to forget it, then just fucking kill him. That's it. Yeah. End of story right there. Hey YouTube, it is Drive By Movies coming at you with another episode of Direct to Dumpster. I am James.
My name is Blaise.
This week we are reviewing and checking out this movie and pulling it straight from the dumpster. Brain Dead. No, not Peter Jackson's Brain Dead. Adam Simon's Brain Dead.
And I think you even mentioned it while we were watching this film that the title of the original Brain Dead, Peter Jackson's film, probably changed to Dead Alive, the US title, because of this film's success. Or lack thereof.
Yeah, I still call it Brain Dead essentially because that's how I always heard about it. But then I realized like, oh, Dead Alive, that's the movie I was thinking of. I didn't realize that they changed the title in the 90s. I think somewhere when it got its US release, because it's of course a New Zealand film, that's when they changed it to Dead Alive. But I feel like this movie that we're reviewing, this 1990 film, played a big part in that. Maybe I could be wrong, but yeah, I feel like it's a logical reason why they would change the name for Peter Jackson's movie.
I think for sure, and if I definitely think about like, I would always see Dead Alive in like the video store. That was one of the main like VHS I'd always look at because the cover was so freaky. Yeah. Honestly, I wish I was somehow able to rent that movie retroactively. Like maybe I took the time stone and then went and got back. Rented that movie, saw it. I think I would have been different than I am today.
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have not taken some horror films as serious as I used to. Yeah. But with this movie, so we're talking about the actual Brain Dead starring Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton. There's no other Bills in this movie, which is a little weird. Yeah.
It's an all-star cast, honestly. Like I don't even think they knew the kind of talent is Bill Pullman a good actor?
I mean, we all like his speech in Independence Day.
The 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night.
Like, that's the one thing that movie has going for it, yeah.
Like, maybe he's all right. I didn't think he was, like, good in this movie, though.
What about your family?
No, I mean, as a leading man, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him as a leading man. I haven't even seen The Serpent and the Rainbow. I do want it. That's one of the Wes Craven movies I have on VHS that I've yet to check out, but
it's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite?
No. Yeah. But Bill Paxton, I feel like totally delivers in this role. He's this kind of, corporate guy.
Do I trust him?
Do I trust him? He's very pushy, like he's kind of was a loser in high school. I mean, I'm just assuming this from the backstory that they gave in one sentence.
Yeah. Well, he's like makes it seem like he has like a big job and everything, and like he seems like a hot shot, but he's always like, I don't have anything. You always got everything and stuff. You got the girl, and
he's not Chet from Weird Science.
Right. So what time it is?
2.
Time to pay the fiddler.
Or maybe he was actually. Now I think about it. Yeah. Anyways, though, getting into like the plot of the movie, this is based on a Twilight Zone, like a script that was originally written for the Twilight Zone by Charles Beaumont, who originally wrote for the original Twilight Zone, and he did 22 episodes for them. So this was kind of like one of those shelved scripts,
right?
And producers got a hold of it and were like, "Oh, let's make this in a real movie." It was written for the original Twilight Zone, so it definitely holds up.
Yeah.
I don't think it did.
It definitely didn't translate well for a movie. Like this final 45-minute third act just like drags on forever.
Yeah.
And I could see it working well for a Twilight Zone episode because most likely in a Twilight Zone episode, it would probably be the final 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it would have been actually would have been very
like 5 minutes of like, oh my God, like the twist. Because all Twilight Zone episodes have this twist. This movie has this twist, but it takes 45 minutes to get there. And it almost like loses the steam that it has, like for that reveal being so long. Like I feel like if the reveal was just a couple minutes, like in what we'd see in a Twilight Zone episode, I feel like it would actually work really well. But
because it happens, I mean, it takes 45 minutes to get there, but still early in the movie, and then the fact that it continues and comes out of nowhere, really, just like we're in a restaurant. He comes through this big breakthrough, and then he loses it right then and there, and then the rest of the movie is just like all stuck in his head. I'm just like, what are we watching exactly? So overall, with our story here, Bill Pullman's character, he's a brain scientist, and we see some weird. The cover of the movie is literally within the first 30 seconds of the movie, and that's what I thought it was going to be about, some weird face science shit involving brains. But I mean, yeah, brain stuff is involved, but he's a brain scientist, and overall, Bill Paxton's character, who's this hotshot at this company called
Unice.
Unice, right? Yeah.
I just think of it, Unice.
Yeah, they're nice guys. Yeah, they're not really nice guys.
Halsey was working on something big, cornerstone technology.
There's this guy named Halsey who apparently was doing work for them, but lost his mind and is now at a mental hospital. And so they want Bill Pullman's character to go through his brain and try to make him forget everything, or see if they can get him to give all the facts on the stuff he was working through. Apparently, it's going to be some big breakthrough that he was working on. But I'm like, well, all right, well, problem solved. If you want him to forget it, then just fucking kill him. That's it. Yeah, end of story right there.
I think they wanted to risk, but if they messed up, then hey, he's dead, I guess. But just risk, just trying to figure out, because Bill Pullman is this scientist who's making breakthroughs on his own.
Yeah.
But did he work for a subsidiary of Unice or Eunice?
No, I think he worked on his own.
He's just his
like,
own,
I think he worked at like a
college
or something. Yeah, he's like, that's his job. Like, oh, I do research. I'm a scientist. I get paid by the state.
Yeah, and he did mention that he went to Miskatonic University, which, if you know anything about H.P. Lovecraft, that is the famous Arkham College from a lot of Lovecraft stories.
Reanimator.
Reanimator. It's the same exact university. If you've played any game that involves Cthulhu, I'm sure there's a Miskatonic University location or card in it,
that's cool.
Which is always fun. Like, what was that game that we used to play? Eldritch Horror. That has like Miskatonic University is literally a point on the board.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Bullshit.
So going back to Halsey, apparently, so yeah, they're trying to keep up this breakthrough that he had, or try to find out more information, and then they discover that Bill Pullman's able to change like your mind's thoughts and alter your reality. Essentially, they bring up like, oh, have you had a very like a traumatic childhood or something? We can remove it off of your brain, or we can change it to where you had a happy life. And they think of it as like the next plastic surgery, essentially. Why change your like face when you can just change your reality and stuff? So it's a cool concept, but they don't really explore it from there, because right after Bill Pullman has his breakthrough and realizes he can do this, he starts going crazy and doesn't know what's real and what's fabricated,
like whether they did this exact thing on him, or if he is Halsey, or if he is actually himself.
And that essentially is the twist of the movie, and it goes on for 30 minutes. But did you care, really?
I think it lost me, honestly. I couldn't tell you what the actual end reality is of this movie, other than he just ends up as a brain on the shelf in his own office, even though we saw that break, like all his brains fell on the floor, even though that might have been a dream. Like, there's kind of like a lot of like dreams and realities being different because they're being shifted almost too much, to a sense they're actually, like I mentioned to you, like I feel like this was trying so hard to be the Matrix before the Matrix, but just like fumbled the ball like literally at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it is a really cool Twilight Zone episode concept, and that's a lot of the things, like I've always said, like, oh wow, a lot of these episodes can easily be expanded into the movies. This one shouldn't have. It was great for an episode, but it wasn't picked as an episode. But that doesn't mean it should have been made into a movie. Maybe, I mean, I'm sorry, Adam Simon, but maybe just it wasn't. It's just not yours. Like maybe you just weren't the best man for the job for this one. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's an okay movie. I don't think it's bad. It like belongs in the dumpster, but it doesn't belong at the bottom. I guess that's like the best I can say. Yeah. When it comes to things that are interesting, though, Twilight Zone, being that's back on CBS, all access. All access. You can also find that in the dumpster as well. If you're actually looking for this movie, you might run into some of those new episodes of Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So
right on.
Anyways, guys, that is going to sum it up for this week. Direct to Dumpster, Drive-By Movies. Go ahead and hit the subscribe. Click that bell notification to get any of our latest episodes right in your inbox. And that is going to do it for this week, guys. Tune in next week to find out what we find in the dumpster.